Hello everyone. Today we're going to send this motor out to be repowered. I was at the train show the other day and somebody told me that he found somebody that would repower these motors, and I checked him out. He does some YouTube videos. He's got the skills and he's got the knowledge of how to do that, so I really want to get that done. So this thing is over 30 years old that I have owned this, so it might be even older. So we're gonna send just the motor and the back truck to be repowered. I really like these. I re-lettered this for Canadian Pacific 30 years ago. So this one, it's been around the block a few times. It still has its original light bulb in there, so pretty cool. If the light bulbs still work, I don't mess with them. It's also got a KD Microtrains front pilot kit. That is a beautiful kit, so I always keep them around. I didn't put it on the back truck, but yeah, it's in good shape, this engine. So the weak point of these, like the wheels are perfect, the gears are perfect, it's always the motors. So this one still runs, but I'm still gonna send it out to be repowered. So this is basic skills. If you have basic skills, you can do this. Just remove these two screws in the back, and you can pull gently on the motor. Just like so. Now this wire that connects to the front light bulb, this little wire here, all you gotta do is move these two spacers out and it will just move out. And then you can send just the motor to get repowered. I'm taking my time because I do want this engine to look and feel like new. And then once you have the two screws, you can just pull on the motor gently, and you've got your motor. So you have to send this through the mail. This one still runs, but I'm gonna want it to be repowered just to get that extra oomph. And then we'll send that. Also have to send the truck because there's a little steel part in the truck, in the rear truck, that's made out of steel, so it's magnetized. So as the engine goes down the track, the new magnet is so powerful that it will pull the truck up, so you don't want that. So you have to send that as well, and he's going to replace it with a brass part which is non-magnetic. So you have to send this out, and then when it comes back, we'll put it on. To you it's going to appear like just 1 second, but to me it's going to be like almost a month. My stuff came back through the mail, so now all I gotta do is reinstall it. If you look carefully at the USRA Mikado compared to the USRA Pacific, the 462, it has 4 driving wheels, which means the length of the engine is about the same, which means the driving wheels have to be smaller. So this produces more torque, more pulling power, whereas the 462, it has bigger wheels that produces more speed. So the 462 ended up being used more for passenger, and the 282, the Mikado, ended up being used more for freight trains. Now I can put my motor back in. That little pin up top is useful. It puts electricity for one of the sides of the commutator. So, and this little guy on the top here, that brings electricity to the little light bulb. And if they work, I don't do anything to them. I leave them like that. Then I start my screws by hand. These for end scales. For end scale, they are big screws. This thing, like I said before, I've had it for 30 years, so for sure guaranteed it's older than 30 years. Well, with the new refurbished motor though, we're gonna get it going again. That looks pretty good. Let's test it on the bench. So it runs fabulous. Awesome. Now before I put the shell back on, I'm going to put back my trailing truck. If you remember that I had to send it with the motor because it has a metal steel part that will be drawn to the magnet. So this was replaced with a brass part which will not interfere with the magnet. And again, I think with some basic skills, you can do this repair. It's not too crazy hard. There. That looks amazing. Now I can put my shell back on. And again, I have to be mindful of my little wire that brings electricity to my light bulb. Actually, that looks good. I'm gonna line it up so I can put my screw back on the top. That looks fine. Check any mechanical project, you want to start them by hand. And then bring in your tools. But that's it. Put my tender back on. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, now it does run slower now. So most appreciated. That helped it out a lot. That's a big improvement over what it ran like before. So the decals on this are CDS dry transfer. I did that 30 years ago. Very satisfying to have that thing running nice. So again, if you're new to the hobby, I would suggest spending a little bit more money. Spend a little bit more money and maybe get the Mikado 282, the heavy Mikado. That way you'll be spending more time actually running trains than tinkering. Although I did enjoy fixing this train. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.